All right, I'm cutting across to inputs coming in on Delhi High Court, all set to hear Arvind Kejriwal's plea against arrest. The plea challenging Kejriwal's arrest in Delhi High Court to begin shortly from now. In fact, Arvind Kejriwal says unable to participate in the poll process. That's one of his arguments. And what we do know is that there is going to be extensive arguments as the High Court is all set to hear both sides. Let me cut across to Nalini joining us for more on that. Nalini, the High Court earlier had wrapped the Enforcement Directorate asking what was the reason to keep Arvind Kejriwal in custody and also had sought a reply from the ED on the reasons to why he should remain in custody and not get bail. At the moment, we know that both sides are going to be heard, Arvind Kejriwal's side and, of course, the ED side. Okay, news coming in that the hearing has just begun in court. Nalini, take it away. Hearing has just begun in court.
Yes, Nabila, and this is Delhi CM Arvind Kejriwal's plea that is challenging his arrest. It's also challenging the remand that was granted to the ED, and it's also stating that interim relief should be granted to Arvind Kejriwal in the meantime. So the High Court has made it clear the hearing is before Justice Swarnakanta Sharma, and she has made it clear that today she wants to complete the arguments in the case. It remains to be seen whether she just reserves the verdict by the end of the day or whether she will also go ahead and pronounce the order by the end of the day. But for now, Senior Advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who's appearing virtually before the Delhi High Court, who had also mentioned the matter in the morning before the Supreme Court, asking for a specific, before the Delhi High Court, I beg your pardon, asking for a specific time to be assigned for the hearing, is arguing on behalf of the Delhi Chief Minister. And what he's saying is that this is not a political case. He's arguing only on the aspects of law, keeping in mind that the custody and the arrest itself is in question. He's also going ahead and saying that because of this arrest, there is no level playing field that is accorded to the Aam Aadmi Party to participate in the 2024 general Lok Sabha elections. Remember, Nabila, right from the very beginning, since the time that Arvind Kejriwal was being summoned, it has been the defense of the Aam Aadmi Party that this is all being done in lieu of the elections, ahead of the elections, so that the Aam Aadmi Party is not able to participate, and keeping in mind that they've just got the recognition to be a national party. It is crucial for them to be part of the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. But all of this is being done and all of their leaders are being put behind the bars so that they're not able to participate in the general elections, and that the BJP has a free rein to go ahead and win the elections without letting the opposition members, giving them a chance for a level playing field. That has been the allegation by the Aam Aadmi Party from the beginning, and those are the same arguments that Abhishek Manu Singhvi is right now making before the court. Both our correspondents, Kanu Sarda and Shrishti Ojha, are getting us the updates from inside. And what Abhishek Manu Singhvi is saying is that there was no imminent need to arrest Arvind Kejriwal in this case. He's also going ahead to say that ED is making the arrest, or ED has rather made the arrest without even conducting any proper investigation in the case. They're also going ahead and saying that there was no need for the ED to arrest him, especially considering that ED themselves had moved the court, saying that Arvind Kejriwal was not being compliant with the summons, and the matter was already sub judice. After Abhishek Manu Singhvi today completes his arguments, there are almost 7 to 8 points that he's going to tell before the High Court. After that, we can expect ASG SV Raju, who is also present before the court, to make arguments on behalf of the ED. And it remains to be seen what they say after they've already had custody for Arvind Kejriwal regarding what is it that they found and why he needs to continue being in jail, despite the fact that Sanjay Singh has already gotten bail from the Supreme Court in the very same case.
Right, and Sanjay Singh is due to walk out of Tihar anytime now. In fact, Shreya Chatterjee is also joining us live right outside Tihar. Shreya, give us more on the movements there. Sanjay Singh had to go in for a medical checkup. We believe that he had issues with his organs. He's all right. He's going to be walking out of prison today. And this comes in the backdrop of Arvind Kejriwal still fighting for some interim relief. While the hearing is in court, a quick update on Sanjay Singh walking out.
Well, Nabila, what we will see right now happening is Sanjay Singh will be released from ILBS hospital shortly. He will have to arrive at Tihar because the formalities to complete the entire bail order will take at least 2 hours once the official communication of the order reaches Tihar. So that is yet to take place. So we are tentatively looking at a clock of say 3 to somewhere down the line 3 to 3.5 hours. So once he is released from ILBS, he will be coming to Tihar through gate number 3. After the entire procedure is finished, he will then be formally released from Tihar itself. So that is the development that will take place. Any time from now, he will be stepping out from ILBS and reaching the Tihar premises.
All right. So we're going to wait and watch to see Sanjay Singh walking out 6 months after Sanjay Singh gets bail. A quick word from you, Nalini. We also have our legal correspondents who are inside the court hall. But while that's said, Nalini, to bring us more right from the outside, Nalini, Sanjay Singh's bail will not have any bearing on the result or the verdict that will come out by the Delhi High Court today. At least that's what the Supreme Court made very clear. It's not precedence, so don't take this as granted that Arvind Kejriwal's process also will be same. Give us a little more on the hearing today in light of what we heard yesterday with regards to Sanjay Singh in the same case.
Well, Nabila, let's put this a little bit into context because the Supreme Court, while granting bail to Sanjay Singh yesterday, in a one-line in its order, had said that this should not be treated as a precedent in any other case. Now, why the Supreme Court said that? Let's go into the reasoning for that a little bit. Number one, because Sanjay Singh was granted bail under peculiar circumstances. Number two, the ED had specifically not opposed to his bail, and keeping these reasons in mind is why the Supreme Court had gone ahead and granted him bail. In fact, the order that the Supreme Court had issued was also not very long, keeping in mind that it was only under these circumstances that he was granted bail, and it is due to that reason that Supreme Court has gone ahead and said that this case should not be cited as a precedent either by any of the other accused or even by Sanjay Singh during the course of the trial, because the fact that he has gotten bail has no impact on the trial itself. So the Supreme Court had made that clear. But what is it that leaders like Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia can do? There can certainly be a certain persuasive value of the fact that Sanjay Singh has gotten bail, keeping in mind the kind of questions that were raised by the Supreme Court during the course of the hearing, where the Supreme Court had categorically asked the Enforcement Directorate why there was no money recovered. They had questioned them on the recovery made. They had also questioned them on the why there was no property of Sanjay Singh that was attached related to this case if the ED was actually going ahead and alleging that he was part of the money laundering. And keeping in mind that it was money laundering specifically that ED is investigating, the money trail is a crucial aspect that the Supreme Court had grilled the ED on, but there were no satisfactory answers given by the ED in this regard. This had happened earlier also during the hearing in Manish Sisodia's bail. This had happened earlier also when the Supreme Court had raised very pointed questions regarding the money trail. In fact, had gone to the extent of telling the Enforcement Directorate that the case will fall flat in 2 minutes if it goes to trial, if the ED continues with the evidence that it has right now. But at the same time, Manish Sisodia was not granted bail, but the kind of evidence that was there against Sanjay Singh was very different because it was particularly relying on approver statements, which is very similar to what is even in the case of Arvind Kejriwal. So there is definitely certain persuasive value that the lawyers can try to extract, but of course it cannot be cited as a precedent either before the High Court or even during the trial.
Right. A quick word from you, Nalini, and a clarification. Is Arvind Kejriwal currently present inside the court hall? And do we know if his health condition, at least so claimed by the Aam Aadmi Party netas, that his health is deteriorating? He's lost about 4 kgs, his blood sugar levels are fluctuating. Will any of that have a bearing on the court's outcome?
Well, right now, Nabila, what the point in question before the High Court is the legality of the arrest and the need of the arrest itself. It is not a hearing on bail, let's make that clear. All of these aspects might become relevant, how his health is doing, how he is being treated while he is in custody, when it's a question of whether or not he can be released on bail. Right now, the High Court is considering whether the arrest was legal and whether there was even a need to arrest him in the first place. And third and most importantly, whether there can be any interim relief that can be granted to him during the course of this time. So keeping that in mind, the aspects of Arvind Kejriwal's health neither have been brought up by his lawyers so far, nor is the court looked into it yet. But in case Abhishek Manu Singhvi cites anything regarding that, we will get all the live updates to our viewers as is being sent by our correspondents inside the court.
But
Arvind
some
Kejriwal
clarity
being present in the court, of course, he's not, because his lawyers are only appearing virtually. Yeah.